We're FabTV.
Great.
I'm Fernando. Hi.
Oh yeah, I know who you are.
Yeah,
Kat.
I've seen you. Hey,
Wait,
Kat.
would you want us together? This is my mom.
Together, of course.
She has my folders. Okay.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm,
Today?
I'm absolutely fantastic. I've been waiting a long time for this particular Tony party honoring my idol, Lily Tomlin, who also happens to be the ambassador for my cinema series, Kat Kramer's Films That Changed the World, where I present socially conscious films and documentaries. And not only has she been so supportive of that, but she's narrated a couple of the films, she's hosted, she's just been amazing, and she so believes in the issues. So to be here honoring her tonight, plus, she's the role model for me as an activist and a performer, I just couldn't be more excited.
Do you always take your older sister to your events?
I love you. Even more
Actually,
now.
it's my mom, but I do have
No.
a younger sister, but she wasn't able to come tonight. She wanted to. But no, I wouldn't miss this without my mom.
Well, we do
She's
go back.
also,
We're producing partners too.
yeah.
We produce some projects together, and
How cool to be in the family together doing,
it's wonderful to
theatrical
be
and-
able to work with your children. It doesn't happen very often, and we get along so well. And we all three live together, actually.
Wow.
They still live-
Lily Tomlin too?
No,
No,
Lily.
no, I wish.
Now, that's the whole
No,
thing about
my
Lily, who
younger
I absolutely
sister.
love.
Lily's like family. I mean, she's.
Yeah, she's very
we-
special.
I was just showing off my comedy skills. Just
Well,
I think you're
actually,
pretty
if there's ever an earthquake, there's no place for her. We would find that. But so would the Actors Fund, right?
Here's a tough question. Where does the Actors Fund money go? Like, where does the monies go?
Oh, my God.
Well, they have the Actors Fund, like a senior center I think it's in New Jersey, and I thought they were trying to build something out here. I know that it's much needed, but I know they don't waste any penny, and they have so many great programs. They even have something for the youth, I think, to get youth involved, and then they have Sing for Your Seniors, I think, back east. We ought to start that here.
It's for
And-
singers, dancers, actors, writers. And we give so much to our careers, and when you get a little bit older, you're not always able to continue that work. And,
Also-
and they fall on hard times. And so where are they going to go after a whole life of dedication to entertaining so many people? So this is one of the reasons they founded this organization and why it's so important for us all to continue to support it.
Also my father, Stanley Kramer, did discover Julie Harris, who the award is named after, when she was doing The Member of the Wedding on Broadway, and he starred her in the film version with most of the same cast, and she played Frankie, and Lily plays Frankie on Grace and Frankie, and the character of Frankie Adams in The Member of the Wedding wanted to connect with people, and she didn't feel that she belonged, and I think Frankie on Grace and Frankie's a little bit like that too. But Lily herself believes we're all connected, and the Actors Fund believes we're all connected. So I think it's an interesting synergy there that probably won't happen again
Right.
with somebody playing Frankie now and making such a difference in the entertainment industry like Lily does. And then Julie, that was her screen debut.
Right. Here's one tough question for you guys. Stage actors and on-camera actors. Seems like the stage actors don't get enough press or enough love. What are your thoughts on that?
They do in New York.
They do in New York.
Of course.
They do. Everyone knows them. But if they come out here, it's like, I'm on a show in Broadway, and then it's like, really?
Well, we're not necessarily a theater town. We're becoming more
I
of a theater town.
disagree. I have to pipe in. I think we're becoming much more of a theater town.
More now, but I don't
and,
think it's existed for many, many years because people in New York kind of frown on motion pictures too. It's a contest there, I think, between the two mediums. But
well, like Denzel Washington just got the AFI Life Achievement Award earlier this week, and he was saying that he considers himself a theater actor, and he's going back and forth to Broadway, and that's his main love and his main dedication. So, I think someone like him breaks the mold.
I don't
just
think
have
so.
to
I think an
continue
actor is
doing
an
it.
actor is an actor, and you do all of it.
How about this one? How come in New York, Broadway shows are hits and they last, but you bring a show here and it just doesn't do as well, even if it's really great? It's like a thing. It's all about New York.
The companies that come out on
The
go on
national
tour,
company? I
the
don't know,
tours.
because I loved the production of Hello Dolly here with the Betty Buckley, who
really
had been
great.
honored here a couple of years ago, and I went more than once to see it, and it was a big hit
Yeah,
at the
true.
Pantages. So I don't know. It's I guess it depends on the star power of whoever is doing the show.
Well, great talking to you ladies. You both look marvelous.
Thank
look
you very
insanely
much.
beautiful.
It's great to meet you.
Thank you so
I'll
much.
see you guys
It's
inside.
wonderful seeing you.
Good
Absolutely.
seeing you too.
Yes, thank you.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
Handshakes or
Thank you
kisses
so
or whatever.
much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
How you do?
Sorry. Look at you. Oh my God, I love you. Hi.
What's going on with you, Miss New York?
Well, I'm really happy to be here. No, wait a minute. I'm very happy to be here on the red carpet here in LA. No, I'm very happy.
Oh, that's your LA voice?
Yeah, no. No, if I did my LA voice, it might offend some people because it's definitely a little more like this.
Oh my God.
It's a little
Please.
Kardashian, but it's okay. It's
That's not
okay.
bad.
No, no, no.
When you're doing your own content, where do you get your ideas from?
It can be listening to the radio, hearing a voice that I've never heard before, or watching a television show. I definitely look for, as someone who does a lot of impressions, I look for these extreme voices or personalities. But oh gosh, I'm a fan. I mean, everything I do is done with love. I think imitation is as sincere as form of flattery. So it really comes from the videos and the music that I'm already obsessed with, which is why I focus so much on people like Celine Dion and Bette Midler and all that.
What are your two most requested impressions they ask you for?
The most requested is probably Celine Dion, who of course could walk in tonight because her show is now closed in Vegas. Celine Dion, which is a funny one for me because I've always loved her, and people always say, "Oh, just do Celine," and I thought I never had a right to do it at first. I was like, "But I'm this 4'11" girl," but it's all about the attitude and the mannerisms and the voice. My other favorite is probably the 4'11" diva, Tony and Emmy Award winner Kristen Chenoweth, who of course is at the Tonys in New York tonight. So I will represent for her here in LA. I adore her. I just think that she's the real deal, star of stage and screen, and I'm just so excited to see what happens tonight.
When you meet someone that you make fun of or impressions of, is there and that they know that you do it, do they talk to you funny? Do they go, "Hey, that's pretty good"?
No, I've been really lucky. The few people that have reached out to me, having known that I do impressions of them, have only reached out and responded with positive comments. Because and the way you worded it said making fun. I always try to show that I'm not making fun of them. I mean, it is a bit of a parody, of course. But for example, Kristen Chenoweth, I performed at an event with her not long ago, and I decided not to impersonate her when she was there. And afterwards, she said, "Why didn't you do me? You need to do me." It's very funny.
Right.
I think a lot of people know that it comes from a really good place. But it's
It's total flattery.
it's total flattery. And Bernadette Peters had said some kind things about me. Kathy Griffin tweeted that my impression was perfection. So it was very good.
Okay.
I'm grateful.
When did you find out that you had this innate ability to adjust your voice and tone?
When I was little, my parents told me that I would sort of sing along to whoever was playing on the television or the radio, and I would take on the tone and the style of that particular artist. Just sometimes, not all the time, but they'd hear it. So I always had a natural ear for mimicry, but I honestly didn't take it seriously until I was auditioning for and cast in the long-running show in New York, Forbidden Broadway. I had to do, people like Barbara Streisand and Bernadette Peters and Kristen Chenoweth at the audition, and I thought, well, it wouldn't be embarrassing if I did this. I can change my voice a little bit. And I remember calling my mom and saying, hey, Mom, does this sound like Bernadette Peters? And she was like, yeah, well, you always did that. And I honestly just didn't know. I didn't take ownership of it. But now, of course, I do, and I'm so grateful that people enjoy it and that it's opened so many doors for me.
If I had that talent, and I actually do this all the time, because to my level, I mess with people. I act like I'm the IRS. But if I had your talent, I would totally do this.
I choose to use my impressions for good as opposed to evil, but I have left the occasional voicemail for somebody as Drew Barrymore. It's amazing to meet you, or he's not coming to the phone right now, but it's okay. It's funny what people ask you to do, but yeah, I try to keep it all kind.
Oh, that's good. We're really awesome talking to you, and I'm a big fan of yours, seeing your
you.
stuff, and
I appreciate that.
And you're going to be on more TV and movie stuff. Is that what you're going to go towards next in your career?
So far, I gotta say, I've been sticking to the stage. I'm doing a lot of work on stage, doing a big UK tour coming up, and a couple of big theatrical productions coming up abroad. I just did some West Coast cities here. I did 4 shows back to back: San Diego, San Francisco, LA, Vegas, and then back to LA right now. But I promise I'm gonna get back to the West Coast soon.
Right on.
But if Hollywood calls, I'll take it. I'll pick up the phone.
Good talking to you. Good talking to you, Toots. Good talking to you. Thank you, too.
Thank you so much.
You want to talk to this?
No. Sam.
Hi.
Kanika Lal. Kanika
Hi,
Lal.
Kanika.
Very nice meeting you. Nice to meet you.
Today we're celebrating the Tony Awards.
Yes.
How exciting. Talk to me about your connection with that awards ceremony, because there's so many, right?
Well, the Tony Awards are about the theater, and the theater is what got me into this business in the first place. So that's all I wanted to do. That's all I thought I was ever going to do. Everything else has been a surprise.
So what was so unique about performing arts for theater, for live? I mean, you connect with audiences in a different way.
The things that are unique are obvious. The people are there with you. The event takes place between you and them, or it doesn't take place at all. It's a different deal, and you can't go back and rerun it, and you can't go back and do it again.
It's like one shot, one opportunity.
One,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And
But night after night, it's like,
it's one of the most exhausting. And for you, I mean, you've transitioned yourself from theater to on camera to TV to film to long-running shows. I mean, I guess like looking back on everything that you've done, how did that shape you as Sam Watterson? You know what I mean? That's a
I
lot.
don't have a clue. You'd have to tell me. I have no idea. It is the life I've lived, and I feel very, very, very lucky. So,
Is there a character that you think resonated with you the most in your career, that almost as if like that's your alter ego, your double life?
it's hard to separate those things from the things that worked best. But, I did a lot of Shakespeare, and that sticks with you. And unlike the movies and television, which mostly draw on what you already know, Shakespeare teaches you stuff you never knew.
What's your favorite Shakespeare play? Which one? I mean,
Well, you asked me what was the one that marked me the most, and probably playing Prince Hal in Henry IV, Part 1 and Part 2 in Central Park in front of that free audience. It was a wonderful thing.
and speaking of theater, speaking of theater, do you feel like it's dying or not? And if you feel like it
Do I
is,
feel
wow.
like the theater is dying?
Yeah, in Los Angeles or even abroad, people tell me, people need to support theater more, and I don't know. What do you think?
Well, people do need to support theater more, that's for sure. But they've been saying it was dying or that it was dead ever since I started out in the business, and I've worried about it an awful lot, and now I've given up worrying. I just hope it'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly. As long as we're here today celebrating, so. Yes, exactly.
Lots to push for.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. It was really nice meeting you. Have fun tonight. Hi. May I ask your name?
Ruby Lewis.
Ruby Lewis.
I'm Alex Ellis.
Alex Ellis. Wait. Okay, I was just gonna say we have some material going on that's very similar, metallic with the eyeshadow.
Yes, but maybe like energetically, we just were passing back,
Do you guys believe in that? The connection of energy? I mean, people are talking about it now like it's a common thing, but years ago, nobody.
You ever like think about somebody and by the end of the day they've texted you or called you? You're like, I did that.
All the time. I feel like when I'm really happy and I'm feeling myself, it happens a lot more often.
Yes.
I can connect with people a little bit easier.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's science as well. Like we're made up of all these. It's a great conversation tonight. Yeah.
I talk about it for hours, truly.
But tell me about this evening. You guys showed up. You looked beautiful. Tell me, what was it that you were intending for? A fun night, but what else?
Absolutely, fun night. I mean, just to hang out with this one, I was excited. And then this is it's a lot of our favorite things. So we're here, we're celebrating. We love theater. We're theater performers ourselves. So the fact that we can watch the Tonys and celebrate Lily and, hang out with Leslie, it's just like pride.
It's really nice to have like a musical theater community out in LA because you start in New York and we're always going back and forth for work, but to be able to just come out here and be like, no, I got my tribe out here, and you can do it under the sun and under beautiful weather and with really lovely people. It's really nice to have that balance out here because I miss it terribly, and it's like you make choices and sacrifice projects, and it's just nice to have a night that's like, okay, it is celebrated and recognized out here. Yeah.
For sure. And what about theater do you guys just really resonate with versus other types of art and expression? Why?
For me, it just I can pause my life and go get lost and kind of reset my life while I'm watching or being entertained or getting lost in a story, and it's very therapeutic. And also both being singers, it's after you sing, sometimes you're like, okay, I'm good. Like
It's a release.
Yeah, it absolutely
Beautiful.
is. So it's just a really lovely art form, and like, an addiction is an understatement.
Have
like,
you guys
can't
ever
help.
performed together? So I interrupt
We
you, but that
haven't
just.
shared the stage yet.
Oh my god.
But we will.
You should.
We will.
Do
one
you guys
day.
have a favorite? Do you have a favorite? Sorry, I thought someone tapped me. I was like, what? Do you have a favorite performance that you've done, or that you've watched, or your favorite all-time play?
I'm actually getting to perform with my accompanist tonight. Created these beautiful shows called For the Record, and I did one that was For the Record Baz Luhrmann, and that's been one of my favorites because I played Daisy from The Great Gatsby, but I also got to sing songs from Moulin Rouge.
I totally see Daisy.
It was so good.
And
so
I
good.
got to sing stuff from Romeo and Juliet, and it was all this interwoven, beautiful, and it was so smart, you know. And it was retelling the stories, and people love the stories, but to be able to retell it in a fresh way and to sing your heart out and stuff, that was one of my favorites for sure.
I've done Hairspray a number of times. I've been Penny Pingleton a number of times. I could do that forever. Yeah. So
You can't be depressed when you're doing hair.
Favorite? No.
the
Wait.
best.
Favorite Hairspray song? We have to sing a little bit. Like I want to. A little bit. I don't know which one. Like, what's like the one that they all did together?
you can't stop the
Believe
beat
in the motion.
It's
So down.
But literally,
You can't stop the beat. Love that. You see already just that little bit. I feel so like electric.
Don't make me sing.
You guys are. Okay, if I have to. It was really nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you. Your eyeshadow is amazing.
It's gonna be a bridge to take off tonight, though.
Nailing. You look great.
Thank you. Nice meeting you guys. You too. I like. Kanika.
Good morning, Alex.
What's your name? Alex.
My name is Alex Landy.
Alex Landon.
Yes, Landy.
Oh, Landy.
Just the I, yeah.
Landon was a school that I grew up around. Anyways, where are you from?
I moved here from New York, so born and raised New York City. Yeah, this is quite the change.
So it is quite the change, especially in the musical theater arena. Are you in musical theater?
I'm not. I have a lot of friends that are, so I'm in support of all of them. But
What is
yeah.
it that you keep busy with every day that helps express your inner self?
How do I keep busy aside from?
What keeps you busy expressing yourself and?
I mean, expressing
Meaning
myself.
what? The simple question is, what do you do for work? I'm trying to be all like,
Well, we're going to season 16 of Grey's Anatomy. Start shooting the end of July. I just got back from Atlanta shooting season 2 of Insatiable. So we got those 2 projects. That should be out sometime later this year. They haven't released a date for that show yet. But Grey's Anatomy, we're going to season 16, so it's going to be some good stuff.
Tell me something nobody would know about working on Grey's Anatomy. I know it's a pretty tough.
In terms of the cast, everyone is very cool, very, very laid back, chill. Everything you've heard about the show is definitely very true. Well-oiled machine. Everyone just.
Have you ever visited a real hospital while you were training for
Hey,
this?
I did. I actually shadowed an actual real orthopedic surgeon, and I watched him literally cut open a whole knee, replace the knee. I watched the whole knee replacement. I was all scrubbed in, blood, fluid all over the floor. I'm just watching this whole thing go down. Yeah, they had me shadow an actual surgery and be in the room for, so I can experience what it's like.
I mean, that's awesome that they allowed you to do that, A, and B, I mean, that puts you in character. I mean, as an actor, you go through a lot of therapy.
Yeah.
How do you handle that? I don't know if you hit you dark.
Yeah, seeing blood does not, fake blood does not affect me. Real blood, it didn't affect me either. My dad gets kind of queasy when he sees that stuff, but for me, it was cool to see kind of. I've never been in a surgery room like that before. Yeah.
As an actor, you get to experience life, so that's awesome. Well, anything else that you're kind of working on that you're...
Grey's Anatomy, Insatiable. Yeah, so we're focused on Grey's Anatomy for now, yeah.
Okay, and where can people follow you in case?
Instagram is, you can just type in AlexLandy7 and it should pop up.
This guy is a good-looking guy. You enjoy yourself tonight. Thank you.